The 10th generation of the Honda Civic has quickly become one of the most popular platforms for car enthusiasts to go with within recent years, with Honda slap and turbochargers into multiple trim levels as well as aftermarket supports being readily available for these cars. It's pretty easy to see why. And naturally, as car enthusiasts do, we want to hop in and start throwing modifications on as soon as possible. But you know, the question is where to begin. Luckily, you've landed in the right place. I'm Jels from Fitment Industries, and today we're going to be going over some of the best modifications you need to do to your 10th gen Honda Civic. Bussin'! I thought I was buzzing. Before we get into all the fun stuff, it's a good idea to actually know and understand what we are actually getting into here. What exactly is going on with the 10th Gen Civic? Is there anything weird about them? Anything that you should know before just diving right into modifying one? First things first, the 10th Gen Honda Civic debuted in 2015 and is considered to be the first global Civic that Honda has released, meaning that there isn't a country out there that got like a special version, or we didn't get the Type R this year because we definitely did and we love it, or that there were like different engines and transmissions for other parts of the world. I think it's like the first time that the United States hasn't been stiffed out of some sort of special edition. They made it pretty easy and they made it really simple. Thank you, Honda. We appreciate it. The 10th Gen saw a variety of different trim levels and featured sedans, coupes, and even hatchbacks, and a few different engines options as well, from a 2.0 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder to the 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that was most notably available in the Civic Si of this generation. 2019 brought a facelift to this new generation, bringing a few different exterior pieces to the hatchback, sedan, and the coupe, and as expected, people fell in love with the 1.5-liter turbo engine as it finally happened. You can finally get a turbo Honda from the factory. The engine has received above average marks for reliability and is capable of taking modifications pretty well. Overall, nothing really bad to say about this generation of Civic. So with a quick overview out of the way, let's get into slapping some modifications on this bad boy. We are going to break down these things into a few different categories. The first being wheels, tires, and suspension. What are people going with for these cars? What looks best, and of course, what fits. Next would be performance. What can be done to get some extra horsepower out of these things? And finally, any other appearance modifications or anything else that we would recommend. If there were to be a downside to this generation of Civic, it would definitely be the wheels. Not gonna lie, they're not that great. Not only to look at, but they're also incredibly heavy. Getting a good set of aftermarket wheels can not only improve the look of your car, but help with lowering the rotational mass and some unsprung weight. Some of the most popular wheels that we see people going with right now for this generation are wheels like the Innovia Titan, the Enkei RPF1, and the Enkei NT03. The Innovia Titan is extremely lightweight, starting at right around 18 pounds per wheel, which is a drastic difference from those stock wheels, which are like almost like 30 pounds. If you take a look at the stock wheels, they are directional. However, they are not done correctly, as you have one side going one way and the other side going like the complete opposite. Innovia Titan keeps the directional style, but does it the right way with a left and right side design. Available in a brushed silver and a satin black finish, they go well with pretty much any color Civic that they made. Fun fact as well, these wheels were designed specifically for the 10th Gen Civic, so they come in perfect fitment options with plus 35 and plus 30 offset. The Enkei RPF1 shares similar qualities with them being very lightweight, but also are an extremely recognizable wheel. You get the Enkei name, which is known and loved pretty much throughout the entire car community, and honestly, you can't go wrong with the RPF1. I mean, like RPF1 and Civics are like peanut butter and jelly. They're always just gone well together. However, they do get a little bit of flack for, you know, maybe being a little bit overdone, which is where the Enkei NT03 comes in. The NT03 has always been a bit of like an underdog, always overshadowed by the RPF1, but is gaining in popularity lately, which I think is really good. I really like the NT03s. I think they perform very well. For wheel sizes, we typically recommend something like an 18 by 8.5 plus 35 or an 18 by 9.5 plus 35. If you want to go with something a little more aggressive, you can go with something like an 18 by 9.5 plus 30, or even a plus 22 would work pretty well, but it will typically cause you to have to either roll or even pull your fenders, as well as look at some aftermarket suspension parts like control arms to help dial everything in. As far as tires, we typically see people pair their wheels with a set of Hankook V12 Evo 2s, some Continental Extreme Contact DWS06 Pluses, or Michelin Pilot Sport All Season 4s, which are all fantastic tire choices to go with for a good balance of performance and functionality.
Back in my day, the world wasn't as crazy as it is now. Gas was 50 cents. I could buy my pops some cigarettes. Life was good. But now it's a different story. The world is a changed place, and sometimes we need a little extra help, and well, that's okay. I'm here to tell you everything will be fine. Oftentimes you browse our website, fitmentindustries.com, and think, damn, I can't afford this. But then you see it, the light at the end of the tunnel. You see that fitmentindustries.com offers as low as 0% financing through Affirm, and now you can sit back, relax, crack open a beer or juice box while you wait for your brand new wheels to hit your doorstep. What the f was that?
Of course, you're going to want a drop and ride height as well to go with your fresh new wheels and tires. Aftermarket suspension can be one of the best modifications you can do to almost any vehicle. For coilovers, we recommend BC Racing as they offer 6 different coilover levels depending on literally whatever you want to do with this car. Little drop in ride height, got it covered with the BR and DS series. You want to turn it into like a time attack monster, got that covered too with the ER and ZR series. And if you want to just slam it on its nuts and go all stancy and crazy, you can do that too. BC Racing is the most popular choice when it comes to coilovers for the Honda Civic, and they do a great job with things like custom spring rates and coming in at an affordable price. On the other hand, if you want to go the route of air suspension, Airlift Performance is almost always the go-to for this kind of stuff. Installation of air suspension is a little more intense compared to that of coilovers, but it's completely worth it if that's the route that you want to take. Airlift does a really good job making complete air suspension kits that come with colored instructions on how to install on your specific car. Personally, I would recommend their Airlift 3-piece setup as it's the most straightforward system and comes with everything that you need. Moving on to the performance side of things, Honda made it, really easy with a 1.5 liter turbocharged VTEC engine. As things as easy as your bolt-on modifications can really open them up and unlock a decent amount of power. An intake, an exhaust, and a tune are some of the best things you can do to pretty much any turbocharged platform out there. Intakes on these cars, pretty simple to install. You can get some really quality intakes such as ones from MA Performance, which is available in a wide variety of different finishes, which you can get a nice touch of color under the hood if that's the route you want to go. And other intakes as well that you can look at would be Nishimoto, Engine, and HKS. An aftermarket exhaust is also recommended in the form of an aftermarket downpipe and a catback exhaust. Not only do you get to make your car sound really good, but you can offer a good bump in horsepower, especially for the turbocharged 1.5 liter. Opening up that intake and exhaust can add a decent amount of power. Brands like MagnaFlow, ME Performance, Greddy, and HKS are by far some of our favorites for these types of parts. And to finish the perfect trio to unlock the most performance to get these things ready to go would be to get a flash tune. Flash tunes have become extremely popular within the last decade, and it seems like the most popular one to go to with this generation right now is the K-Tuner Flash V2. Doing these modifications can open up roughly anywhere between 35 and 45 horsepower depending on what parts you go with and what type of fuel you are choosing to run. And of course, if you want to take it a step further, you can always look at upgrading your turbocharger or an intercooler and things like that to bring in some more boost, which looks to be for a stock internal engine or stock block engine right around 21 to 22 pounds of boost before you start getting into some sketchy territory that would require you to upgrade some other things. Overall, I think Honda has done an incredible job with styling this generation of Civic as well. And outside of the wheels, tires, and suspension, they don't really need a whole lot to look really good. Some aero pieces like a splitter, side splitters, and maybe a diffuser can be a nice touch, but not necessarily needed, especially if you're trying to go for a really clean look. You might want to go with some more just a front lip and then maybe a side skirt and something like that for the rear. Because this generation does come pretty aggressive straight off the line, it doesn't need a whole lot. So there you have it, some of the best things that you can do to your 10th gen Honda Civic. Let us know down in the comments below if there's another car you'd like us to cover in the near future, and I'll go over some of the best modifications that you could do, or just kind of a guide as far as wheel, tire, suspension, performance, and all that sort of stuff. If you have a 10th gen Honda Civic and you're looking for some wheels, tires, or suspension, or even some performance parts, don't forget to check out fitmentindustries.com and MA Performance. You can check out all the stuff that we offer for 10th gen Civics over there. It's a pretty good time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Giles from Fitment Industries. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.